Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I always like to hear the man himself talk. I don't like people paraphrasing or telling me what I should understand from what a politician or a leader or a military I don't know, a general or someone said somewhere. Why? Because the mass media is inaccurate. Mass media has its own agenda. Mass media lies by omission, sometimes directly like that. So I think I'm smart enough, and obviously you are smart enough, to listen to what the guy says. And then make up your mind, because you're not dumber, or I'm not dumber, we are not dumber than a weasel that just writes for New York Times or Washington Post or CNN or something like that. Or you have those analysts, coming in and experts telling you this and telling you that. Like, oh my God, yeah, really? How come you know all this? Well, I'm an expert. How? Well, I have a degree. Yeah, how many books did you read? 25. And I'm following this very closely. Well, I read 3,000 and I'm following this much better than you, closer than you. Prove it. Anyway, there was a joke. So we just have an article here from Putin, who just comes out in a Q&A session and is going to give us, according to Russia Today. You say, well, see the Russia Today. No, I'm going to give you to what he said. Maybe not his statements, but whatever he is, how should I put it, sending to the other side. Like, hey, this is how I see things. This is my reality, from the perspective of being the president of the Russian Federation. So let's go. This article, as I said, comes from Russia Today, July 30th, 2023, because over there is already Sunday in Russia. So, key takeaways from Putin's Q&A session with journalists. The president answered questions after concluding the major Russia-Africa summit in St. Petersburg. I don't know why he keeps his watch on the right side. Always he kept it like that. He doesn't have metallic bracelet, whatever you call that. Anyway, let's move. Russian President Vladimir Putin held a press conference on Saturday evening addressing topics ranging from national security to global food supply. So, let's see what it is. 1. Moscow ready for quote-unquote any scenario with NATO. I just made a video on that one. So it says here, Putin said, and I'm quoting him, if someone wants it and that's not us, then we are ready, end quote, he says. Number 2, Putin doesn't directly command operation in Ukraine. You say, it's according to Putin. Well, according to whom? To CNN or who? Biden? I mean, really, if someone wants to know something about you, shouldn't they ask you? No, they ask a teacher, what does Gigi want to eat? Instead of asking you, hey, Gigi, what do you want to eat? I want to eat, I don't know, pancakes. No, comes the teacher. No, here, Gigi doesn't want to eat pancakes, he wants to eat, I don't know, bacon. But he just said pancakes. Believe me, why? I don't know. So, let's go back here. Putin doesn't directly command operation in Ukraine. So, according to the Russian leader, as commander-in-chief, he has been receiving regular reports about the situation on the front line and spoke with his top generals several times a day. Putin added that he can reach out to, quote-unquote, special units when needed. However, it would be, and quote-unquote, wrong for the president to interfere with the military and start directly commanding the troops. He said, well, maybe that's why the operation goes so well, because you're not involved. I'm just kidding. Alright, he doesn't have experience in that one, but doesn't mean that he can be an idiot either. Number 3, Kiev running out of conscripts. That's true, but that's probably the same thing is true for the Russians as well. Why? Because the Russians did not do a general mobilization. As I said, 30 million people or so. The Ukrainian army is not only suffering heavy losses on the battlefield, but is struggling with manpower as well. Don't worry, those trained Ukrainian troops from Western Europe, NATO countries, they're coming over. They will be resourceless. They will be without end. And they will speak a lot of languages. He said that while taking prisoners, Russian authorities discovered that Ukraine had, and I'm quoting, formed military units made up of aircraft technicians. Maybe that was their previous place of employment. What does it tell you? What does it tell us? I'm quoting that their mobilization resources are depleting. Nah, I don't know. Aircraft, that's a little bit weasel here, I have to say, because they're technicians and technicians. I know an aircraft technician could maybe not be used, and besides that, how do you know? Because he told you so. And besides, each and every person probably who was mobilized, the last 300,000, remember, they had a job. So let's say one of them was an engineer and then get captured by the, let's say, technical engineer, and get captured by the Ukrainians. See, they are, that's it, man. There's the bottom of the barrel. They get the engineers, the technical engineers. They, instead of using them of what? Maybe they have too many. Okay, let's go back to these guys. And here is number, here. What does it tell you? That their mobilization resources are depleting. They are with every day because people die, obviously, so that's a general statement. The Russian leader said he previously pointed out that Kiev's forces lost dozens of Western armor. That's true, but I haven't heard anything else happening after that because I think that they just took them away from the front line. German-made Leopard 2 tanks and US supplied Bradley infantry fighting vehicles. Yes, but they took them out because they were afraid to get them all blown up in the first month. Alright, number 4. Crimean Bridge will have additional protection from attacks. That's weasel. It should have had already. So it's too late now. Okay? It says the security around the long bridge which connects Crimea with mainland Russia will be strengthened in the wake of this month's Ukrainian attack, which killed 2 people and wounded a 14-year-old girl. Russia has responded by preemptive strikes, end quote, on sites that were used to manufacture and deliver naval drones that targeted the bridge, Putin explained. And I explained to Putin this. I don't believe it, and I tell you why. If you knew this, why didn't you do it beforehand? You did it after, and you did it the next day. So that means you didn't find out just that day. So if you remember, let's say the attack occurred today, and the next day they attacked Odessa and all. Oh yeah, we attacked the next day, 12 hours. They attacked Odessa and said, we killed the terrorists, whatever they say right now, we destroyed those things. No, you didn't. Because that means you knew about it before and you didn't stop it. That tells me what? You're guilty. Because you knew it and you couldn't prevent it. So zip it. Okay? Oh, you didn't have missiles, but all of a sudden you have tons of missiles because in the next 5 or 6 days you used almost about 80 or 90 missiles or something. All kind of drones and the bombers from the strategic bombers from west of Russia took off. The ones that deliver in over the Caspian Sea area, those ones. They use Onyx, they use Kinzhal, they use Kalibr missiles, they use the submarines. And you're telling me that, oh, we knew about it. Well, if you knew, why didn't you stop it? So I don't buy that one either. But hey, I'm telling you what he said. Number 5. Russia is more important to global food supply than Ukraine. Well, that's true. The share of the Ukrainian grain on the world market is less than 5%. Well, I don't know. They said that together like 40, Russia and Ukraine. So I don't know if it's 5% or not. While the share of grain from Russia is more than 20%. Now there's 25. Putin said, adding that among the grain exported from Ukraine would shrink further due to Kiev's mobilization efforts. Russia has recently refused to renew the 2022 deal aimed at facilitating the deliveries of foodstuffs and fertilizer from Ukraine and Russia. Moscow has since argued that Western countries failed to hold up their end of the bargain. So I don't know, 25%? I thought it was like 40, but maybe it's just an exaggeration, I think. Maybe 25 or 30% sounds more valid than 40, obviously, at least to me. European Union states keep blocking fertilizer shipments to developing countries. Putin noted that Russian cargo is still held up in the ports of the Baltic states. Moscow was ready to deliver the fertilizers to the countries in need for free, but had been barred from doing so. And I'm quoting, "Nobody can explain to us why," end quote, he said. Well, why do you need explanations? You do what you need to do. Didn't you learn that already? Jesus Christ, look at the North Koreans. The Russian leader said last year that the country was not allowed to ship 300,000 tons of its fertilizers out of the European Union ports. And that's it. No, man, it's so, I don't know, he gets kicked in the balls over and over. You know, these guys, even Erdogan, you know, pulled up, how do you call it, the carpet from underneath Putin with those guys, the Azovstal commanders. That's one. The fertilizer, again, they claim they got tricked again. The Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines, again, they got tricked again. The Minsk agreements in 2014, 2015, again, tricked again. They're tricked all over if you listen to whatever happened, whatever they say. And you keep trusting these guys? These guys kicked you out of SWIFT, kicked you out of G7, kicked you out of G8. They kicked you out from so many things from the West. They don't allow, they impose sanctions on you. They imposed embargoes on you. And you still are doing a business with, call them what, partners tomorrow or something? Didn't you understand that these guys are there to get you? And I will send Putin each and every day pictures with Mussolini in Piazza di Milano, with him and his girlfriend or mistress. And I will send him every day. That's how these guys probably want him to, you know, just look at that and read about it. And that's why when the other guy, the other bad guy called Adolf, when he heard what happened with Mussolini, he said, I'm going to go blow my cop off. I'm not going to allow the masses to do that, or to be in front of a Western trial, because he knew how fair they are. He saw that in the First World War anyway, so he said, I'm not going to do it, and whatever, that's that guy. So Putin still thinks that if these guys are going to get him, do you think that he's going to be what? Treated like the German, the Nazi generals and marshals were treated? Remember when, what's his name, not Himmler, because he killed himself, Goering, when Goering said, okay, I'm here, he came and he was like, he thought that he's going to be just, you know, marshal to marshal or something to something. No! They even allowed him to have his insignia and all that, about a few days or a week, and then he came whom? He came that guy called Eisenhower, and Eisenhower stripped him of everything. He's just a prisoner. They took everything and he was treated as a prisoner, and then what happened? He dodged them by killing himself in the cell before he was hanged like a dog like everybody else, as he deserved. Let's put that over there for these guys, okay? Now, anyway. No, whatever, man. They think that you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't deal with, you deal with special people. Anyway, my friends, so Putin still thinks that he's going to deal with these guys, going to show in front of everybody, going to negotiate. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.